Warning. The We All Have an X-Chromosome podcast contains strong language and contains themes that may not be suitable for a workplace environment or for younger listeners. We suggest wearing headphones if you choose to listen to this podcast in a workplace environment without headphones. We are not responsible for any consequences that may happen. If your 2-year-old's first word is the F-bomb, it's not our fault. Listener discretion is advised.
We are the children of Zion. We have been left here to defend humanity's right to exist. No matter what the machines believe, we belong here, at this place, at this time. And with that, I present this revolutionary love letter to those who came before. Let's go. They call me speed rider, but never no heat hider. But I'm digital, fighting wars no one's hit to. Matrix division, network system point 2. Called the one, the neo, the novice, the noose. For Trinity will execute. Between the viral agents flagrant, engaged. No basic of state to take. Making model, which coddle the nature of humanity. Basic profanity.
Spoilers, people. I thought I was going to retire that, but it's come back to the future because I forgot what I was going to do, and it was probably not rememberable anyway, so whatever. My name is Bill.
And I'm Noelle, and we're back, bitches.
Yep, we all have an X-Chromosome. You can visit us online at X-Chromosome. You can follow us online at podcast.com.
God, we're out of practice. We fucking suck. But hey, it's 2021. We have survived the plague. I'm fully vaccinated, which is baller.
I will be fully vaccinated on Monday. I leave work early to go get my shot. So which vaccine did they stab you with?
I am Team Moderna.
I am Team Pfizer. This podcast is not supported by Moderna or Pfizer unless they want to give us the big bucks, and we'll show for
This
big
is not
farms.
an ad. Hashtag, right? That's what the kids do. This is not a hashtag. This is not an ad. This is also not a hashtag. Fuck.
Leave the hashtags to me.
We're a little rocky kids, but we'll be okay.
So, last time we went, we were with Dr. Will, and we recorded on the day of the inauguration. Since then, we're not gonna go through. We'll go through the history first in the past, so to speak, a little later. But we've been going through a lot of new stuff. But what have you been up to since then, Noelle?
Well, since we took our break, I have been up to no good. That's a lie. I've mostly been working. I've managed, with being fully vaccinated, to get one photo shoot done. Samples are available on my Instagram, and I have not gotten the full edits back, but it involved going underwater.
Oh.
So that was fun. I've been watching a lot of YouTube and listening to a lot of podcasts. I've also been doing my best to make 2021 more dedicated to attending to self.
Right.
I hate using the phrase self-care,
Right.
because people like to do dumb shit with it.
Like get plastered.
Yeah, which is not
self-care.
self-care.
Yeah.
No, it is in fact not self-care to get hammered.
Well, that sounds good. Spouse, does he got them all, or is he one or two, or what?
Spouse has been shot once.
Shot once?
Have
you adopted any new cats?
We have no new cats. We still have all the old cats. We've had quite the adventure with Ginger, because Ginger is a pain in the ass. She got some sort of skin infection because we can't have nice things.
Right. Well, since we last spoke, I've moved.
That was part of our delay.
That was a part of our delay. Then, after the move, I was mostly getting packed, getting squared away, getting moved for the move. After the move, I actually properly set up my space in regards to my computer and things like that. So, our producer, Vanessa, had gotten me this lovely setup last year with the mic arm and holding on to the mic and things everything like that I couldn't use because I didn't have a desk. And I couldn't coordinate my room right for the desk. And then COVID hit, and I couldn't help get people to get things done with their house. So, the past year I've been working from home, using my laptop in bed. Yeah.
You lucky fuck working from home.
They just sent us a survey about the idea of going back to the office, and I basically made sure to put all my long form answers on every question. I do not want to go back to the office, and gave the exact reasons why.
Humans are gross.
Well, one, I take public transit, so don't know what might happen there, because even though I might be have my shot, because I'm going to be taking an Uber back and forth to the shot place to limit my contact. I still might go through and spread some. And I don't want to do that because COVID and variants and things like that. Who knows what happens? On top of it, my building, we share facilities with other offices in our building. One of those offices also include Amazon and iHeartRadio, and a bunch of other bigger companies in the Boston area. And our company is right on the main hallway to the building cafe that people use to get their meals. On top of everything else, my office doesn't have a bathroom, so we have to share facilities in the office building itself. I'm not sure if any of them have bathrooms, and I think they all share the facilities. But
sounds gross.
Yeah, my company might be fine in regards to making sure that everybody's checked and everything like that, but I can't trust the other companies. I don't know who's been doing what. So it's like, look, just keep me at home. And it might wind up going through and doing that anyway because they've already completely closed offices and nothing. They cleared them out. And some customer service reps don't have any places to go to.
Excellent.
Yep. Kilbagan, I'm going to go through and note that cut out customer service part, I said, because I don't want them to know that. So 3, 2, 1. And basically, some people don't have an office to go back to. So who knows? It'll be something. And so yeah, basically everything that was going through in the move and everything like that. We moved the website. I'm still doing a little bit of updates for that because I've taken up another hobby that has been eating up my time. That I've been doing more writing and not of the script kind, but we'll see how that goes. And I've been having people read this stuff and they've been liking it. So you're not going to find it online. So don't try to Google. I gave up script writing because the atmosphere is quite toxic, and I will probably go through and get something done with that in a future episode if I could get something coordinated. But yeah, it's just trying to go through. I'm going to be honest. I haven't been on Facebook. Have you been keeping updated with the Facebook?
Not as much because,
The new design sucks?
Well, no, it's not that. It's all I do is fucking brawl with people, and I'm tired. I don't mind fighting with people, but I can only fight so much.
Because
as it were,
I hate the new Facebook. I especially hate how they have the pages set up for what we need to do to spread our information. Because there's so much trying to spam you with, "Hey, you should buy ads," that you barely can find where to post shit. So I've been living on Twitter. So
I've been living on Instagram more. My Instagram is a sea of Black and other marginalized voices, local groups for mutual aid, and rampant feminism, photographers, models, and stuff associated with that. It can be a little all over the place, but I like it.
I should give you the access to our Instagram so you can throw some stuff there while I take over the Twitter, because my Twitter is basically smut because my Twitter is a break, so to speak. Mm-hmm. But it's at the same time, it gives me more access to things about sex work and things of that nature, because a lot of these people are the ones that are on the ground floor actually going through and doing things. But at the same time, we're going to go through today. We're just going to go through and throw some subjects out to talk about, because we wanted to get something out, and we'll be going through getting prepared for within the next 2 weeks so we can get things squared away. Oh, I'm still in school, and that's a mess too.
Everybody be proud of Bill for going to school. Woo!
Honestly, one more thing. COVID has still helped me with school in one way. The online courses, they now give you an extra week to get your work done without a grade dropping.
I mean, you should be applying for an individualized education plan anyway. With your ADHD, you should be getting some accommodations to that effect.
And I was told that after the next fiscal year, I'm going to run out of loan money. So I might have to do a crunch and try to basically graduate this year. With all my hard classes.
Nice.
That's gonna be hell if I do that. I gotta talk to my advisor.
It'll be great. You'll love it.
I won't. Because just some of these classes are just looking at the syllabus is like, oh fuck. But anywho, we're gonna go back to what we were talking about. And one of the things about sex work that I wanted to talk about is there was a woman who tried to get this thing going. I don't know. She was trying to get a Twitter boycott done for today. Trying to organize a worldwide Twitter boycott in 2 days. Because for a good cause, I'm not going to be the one to say it was for a bad thing. But Heidi Moore, she's got a blue check Twitter, so I'm going to go through and name her. It looks like she's a business. Looks like she works for Mashable or has worked for Mashable at the time as a business editor. But she was like on the 7th, boycott Twitter for because of harassment, and that's currently what her thing has. Since then, she's changed her Twitter to private, because most of the people have told her that while it's nice that she's trying to do a cause, a one-day boycott is going to do absolute shit.
Yes.
And basically, it looked like it was just more of a attention grab. The reason, because yesterday on Twitter, everybody just started talking about boycotts and just kept on running about how a boycott is stupid. One of the tweets I want to quote is, and the idea is about the harassment to women through the platform. And yes, it's harassment to women, 100%, no doubt, no lie, true. But one of the tweets I was pulling up from Amelia M. Riley, because it turns out this was in response to that, because this is the first tweet I heard about a boycott, period. Do you want to know how to support sex workers and women on this app? You change the behavior and you hold other people accountable for theirs. You support your favorite creators when they create boundaries and support them extra when someone tries to overstep. Fuck a boycott, do better.
Yes.
But that's really what it basically boils down to, is Twitter wouldn't care if they had a boycott for a day.
No, they won't notice.
And what you're basically going to the idea you're doing this like to help women to get harassed. Twitter is a platform where some of them have to advertise to try to make their ends meet through like their commissions, their OnlyFans, all their other platforms, and they need that platform to promote their platforms. So basically you get all the people that want to support them off the platform for a day to just like feed the ones that can't go to the trolls. So doing an online boycott of something is stupid. Now, boycotts do work.
Yes.
I'm not saying boycotts don't work. But you have to like prepare them.
And it takes more than a day.
And have a goal in mind, like it is a specific goal in mind. Not just change the rules. Like have some idea of things that you want to exactly enact. I used to work for a company that after the Parkland shooting, there was a rash of NRA dropouts. My company that I was working for was one of them. At the time that they were doing the boycott or what was going on in this case, it was like people were calling the companies to say, hey, we're dropping the service because you support the NRA. And we can't deal with that with kids getting murdered, which I'm not supporting your product because a kid's getting murdered. That's good. They weren't going, I'm burning your product because I'm mad at you. That's stupid. So like within like 30 minutes of phone calls, we dropped them. And CNN and everything added us to the list. And then for the next 2 weeks, we had NRA members calling us about how we suck and how we've lost customers. And I could say that 99% of the people that called weren't actually our customers, but they were like, well, I would have been. It's like, we don't care. You're not our customer. And the most joy that I got from that time was like, yeah, if it gets to Bill, you could stop at Bill. He's not sending any more NRA calls up the chain. He is do not pass go, do not collect $200. And if anybody wants to complain, they could write to press@ourcompany.com, which basically was a giant trash bin. Because they weren't going to change it, and they didn't change it. So I went through and I'll go through and post a bunch of the links that I had pulled up to share in regards to that. Because there's some histories of various boycotts that worked. But the first thing I did was the Snopes article about all the one-day gas boycotts, because it's like, you're not harming them because you're just changing the day that you're going to fill your gas tank. They're still going to get their money. But it goes through like the Montgomery bus boycott. It goes through Cesar Chavez. It's got all the things that worked and how it worked, and it didn't take one day. So one, boycotts don't work. 2, support your sex workers, and 3, men and women, if you see things that you don't like, call it out and step up. We need to do something about that. So
yeah, boycotts only work if you're going to grind it out and you're actually going to take money away.
Yep. And it would have to be a grind. It's not I'm taking a day off from social media. Who cares? Let's see. Other things that another thing that I threw up was a tweet was in honor of our friend Eric. Someone with DSA the other day told me that they don't view entertainment sports unions as the same as other unions because entertainers aren't on the quote-unquote shop floor. And I think it's cute how some of you think my unionized labor is just leisure because I make you your leisure content. This is gone from Run OLGA Run on Twitter, and they go through and they're talking about like how their cousin has gotten major concussions and head injuries in the NHL, and how all the actors and performers put their bodies on the line to go through like for actions and stunt doubles and things like that. But I was thinking about Eric, like he's the guy backstage making sure that all the production is working crap. So it all is entertainment. So everything is a bit bullshit in that regard.
Yeah, unions are unions. And just because it's like the Screen Actors Guild or the NBA Players Union, they fucking matter. They're the ones that are protecting the players. They're the ones advocating for just rights and the important shit. I don't know how I'm trying to articulate this, but help for concussion syndrome sufferers or safer playing conditions. The banishment of contracts that do not contain the guaranteed money, and doing away with contracts that don't contain guaranteed money. It's ridiculous how that's a thing, that you can put your physical self on the line for
a lot of the NFL contracts. It's you got a contract if basically for the time you're serving, but only if you are able to serve for all that time. You'll get paid during that time while you're going, but if you get cut, you're not going to get the rest of your money. It's a major thing when an NFL player gets like a lot of guaranteed money in their contract, because it has to be like, you are going to get this much no matter what. I think it was Kirk Cousins. When he signed his contract with the Minnesota Vikings, it was the full contract was guaranteed and was for $84 million. So
instead of basically signing a contract to get paid on spec, or for piecework,
or it's like, yeah, you might help us win 1 or 2 seasons, but then you're going to get injured and we're going to cut you, and you're not going to get the rest of your money. It's like, yep, you got it. You cut me, but you're going to give me all that money.
Motherfucker, pay me to go away.
And that's still going to be on your salary cap.
But just the idea that they can be just thrown away.
Yep.
Is appalling. But players' unions protect players. They also defend them against bullshit like what's the player that keeps getting suspended for having ADHD or smoking pot, and those suspensions are ridiculous. But the union should be working to protect that and change those rules as well.
Right.
And in some instances they are.
Okay, like for example, let's show how the big numbers might not mean anything. Patrick Mahomes. He's got the most money sports contract in the world. That he could actually earn up to $500 million with specific performance clauses added to his contract. Without those, it is $450 million over 10 years. However, the only amount of guaranteed money that's in that $450 million is $63.1 million. So it's like, yeah, it's a big number, but if he ever gets injured to the point that he can't play anymore, that's all he's going to get. So you throw around this big money number for no reason.
Mm-hmm. It's infuriating.
It is, but that's the same thing with contracts and unions and things like that.
And union pay, you wouldn't think, but I'm not in a union. It doesn't impact me. The hell it doesn't.
But let's talk about union impact for a bit in regards to the pro sports. Mm-hmm. Did you know that this year's Major League Baseball All-Star game is going to be played in Colorado?
Yes, because the union went, fuck you, we want to move the game. And MLB went, okay.
Because the Major League Baseball Players Association was like, hey, we don't want to play our All-Star game in Georgia because of voters' rights and the bullshit that they pulled, causing it to be more difficult for minority voters to actually go through and vote. And people in Georgia are pissed.
Good.
Because they're burn. I haven't seen anybody burning their jerseys, but they are sure pitching a fit on Twitter.
They're not mad at Atlanta. They're not mad at their teams. They're mad at the organization, which is a little harder to throw. It's harder to punish the organization because...
Oh, of course, the organization said that they didn't agree with the decision. And I've always known that the Atlanta Braves were a shitty organization with that. But I'm a Mets fan, so I just like to completely shit on the Braves anyway.
Well, we're talking about the baseballs. I would like to point out that the Cleveland team, because they're changing their name next year, one, they've decided to change their name effective next year. So they're working on finding a good name instead of the Washington football team, who is just like, stop calling us the Thing. Okay, what are we going to call you? I don't know yet.
Well, basically, it was like, do this or we're going to force you to do this. At least Cleveland has decided we're going to do this on our own. Without being forced by Major League Baseball to do this.
It's about time we fucking change our name. Mm-hmm. I just hope they go with something cool. We've got a lot of history with neat names. I mean, if we want to keep it in theme, that we could name it after like some of the no longer extant indigenous cultures. Mm-hmm. Like the Cleveland Mound Builders. Yeah, that's not very intimidating. But more importantly, this year, anybody who is wearing what is clearly supposed to be an approximation of indigenous garb or indigenous face paint is going to be asked to remove it or thrown out of whatever they call it now, but it's Jacobs Field.
Yeah, it is Jacobs Field. Did they sell their rights too?
I think they sold their rights.
Yeah. Speaking of the Cleveland Indians and my New York Mets, we now have the former Cleveland Indian Francisco Lindor, who also recently signed like this huge fucking contract, which Major League Baseball basically guarantees all your huge fucking contracts.
Yeah, look at that. Major League Baseball's Players Union doesn't fuck around. And they get a lot fewer concussions. Is there a connection there?
I mean, because you just like there is impact on the sport, but there's not as much impact. And even then, it's like the plays at the plate. They like made new rules about how a catcher can actually go through and block the plate just to protect the runner and the catcher. And people flipped out about that, but now no one talks about the issue anymore. Because they're like, we need to change the game for safety. Yeah. So, but that's unions, and that's what big unions can do.
That's what powerful unions can do.
I mean, I don't have a 105-mile-per-hour fastball, so I'm not going to be able to use the Major League Baseball Players Union, but still. Let's see. It's weird because like I could like use my mouse and my keyboard without having to go through and hold a mic. While we were away,
you don't know how to be.
I don't know how to be. This is like a whole new ball game. This is why I'm talking so much, people. Speaking of ball game, the former Georgia senator sold her part of the Atlanta Dream.
Loeffler is no longer involved in the operation of the Dream, and that makes me happy. On the subject of players getting shit done, and Megan Rapinoe is setting people on fire left, right, and center for being not helpful.
Just putting up the thing for the information with this. I pulled up just for Megan Rapinoe articles about the news recently. But the first thing that came up is a player for the Golden State Warriors forward Draymond Green said Thursday that he believes that his tweets about women's sports and pay gap with the male athletes have been extremely misconstrued, saying in part that I am on their side. I don't know what his
look. You had 140 characters to make yourself known and clear.
280, and it's actually harder than you think. But if
you can't get it done in 280 characters, shut your mouth. Don't be on Twitter. But that's all I gotta say.
He did follow it with "I am on their side," so at least he basically put it on Front Street.
That's fair. He's out there on Maine going, I support equal pay for equal play.
I screwed up with how I tried to word it before badly. I'm saying this.
I fucked up. Please, scary lady, do not kick me in the junk. I might be 7 feet tall or whatever, but
because
Megan Rapinoe kicking you anywhere is going to ruin you.
Because that's exactly what happened. She ripped his remarks originally, saying that it was unfortunate that an athlete in his position didn't have a more informed opinion. But basically, he got the fear of Rapinoe put into him.
I mean, I'm a little afraid of her.
We should all be a little afraid of her.
I mean, and
it's a respectful fear, not
Yes, I respect an apex predator who can destroy me, and allow her to exist in peace. On the subject of letting women in sports exist in peace, there's been a lot of bullshit about trans athletes and some extreme anti-trans legislation. So your first call to action in 2021, or first official of this season, is roll up your representatives' asses about letting kids play sports. That's it. That's all. Let kids play sports. On my vampire server, one of my players is a 2 X-chromosome woman, and her testosterone levels are super elevated, like above some XY anything. So the idea that, well, girls with too much, there's a competitive difference and blah blah blah. I guarantee you there is variance in 2 X chromosome people when it comes to testosterone already. So it doesn't matter. If you can't beat someone on your talent and your genetic loadout, that's a you problem. That's not the other person problem. And I've heard in the field of competitive distance endurance running, they actually group people based on, testosterone production because we all produce it. And so your running group is people in your same hormonal loadout, which we could just do for all sports, and that would solve the problem. Everything is not intramural. Everything is co-ed, and we group it based on how everything measures out.
Intergender would probably be a better term.
Intergender, yes.
Yeah. Be covering more bases that way.
Yes.
But I could see something like that. That would be a good idea, and actually like base it on skill and things of that nature.
Because then your competitive classes would just be skill against skill.
And yes, there'd still be cases of there's just going to be some positions that no one's going to be able to go through and play as easy as others. Like there may be some big thick woman that wants to be an NFL lineman, but chances are there's going to be bigger, beefier men that are going to get the job. Because the idea is get in the fucking way.
Yeah, but you also need speed. So
But on the other hand,
some sapphic step on me Amazon can probably ruin a quarterback.
Well,
just based on speed.
Exactly, or they could be a wide receiver or
a blitz. They'd be
safety,
the one you'd throw into blitz.
Yeah, a blitzing safety or something like that.
But it would open up so much play. I mean, there's only going to be one LeBron James. There's only one Megan Rapinoe. The excellence is unique to an individual. So let's just let the excellence exist on its own. I mean, it doesn't matter how much work I put into my free throw or my corner kicks or dribbling or any of that. I'm a soft, middle-aged, 5'2" white woman who's a little clumsy. I do not have the talent. I don't have the knack, the athleticism in my genetic loadout to achieve what somebody my age who was gifted with all of those things can do. And so I ain't even mad, and I don't get that. I don't understand, and I guess this is just me being me. I don't understand being mad because one girl is gifted with more athleticism than another. Yeah. They're both girls. One of them doesn't have chromosomes that match. One of them does. There is no telling which one of those is going to be the better athlete. There's no yeah, more testosterone does not equal better play because there are, 2 X-chromosome basketball players that can whoop the shit out of an XY basketball player. There have been Little League pitchers who are 2X female. I forget her name, but she fucking smoked everybody. She was an incredible pitcher, Little League. There's no boy that was matching her.
That Moni Davis?
Yes.
Yes, she made because I just pulled up an article. She just made her college softball debut for last year anyway, February 2020 before COVID hit. She just made her softball debut for Hampton College
and was smoking people there, huh?
Mm-hmm.
So she's just that good.
Yep.
There's nothing you can do about it.
In 6 innings of work, she struck out 8 batters, allowed just 2 hits. She threw a 70 mile per hour fastball, and remember, she was just 13. Oh, that was what they're talking about with her Little League stuff. Fast forward to 2020, Davis is a college freshman at Hampton University, a historically black college in Virginia's Tidewater region, is still playing as though she traded one diamond for another. And she was playing second base at the time. So, but still, it's like, she's not pitching anymore, according to that follow up. So she's just staying as in the field, so to speak. Mm-hmm. But still, it's like there was a girl that was like tearing the crap out of other little leaguers. So just because you're not a man doesn't mean you can't beat the man, unless you are the man Becky Lynch, who is rumored to make her WrestleMania reappearance tonight.
Welcome back, the man Becky Lynch.
Yes, because she recently had a baby that's named Roux, R-O-U-X.
Roux?
Roux, yep.
I mean, why? White people. I don't understand how we name things.
She's actually Irish.
Yeah, but roux is flour and fat that you use to make gravy. That's not a name for a being.
Maybe I got it wrong, but I know it's weird. No, it's roux. I just verified it.
White people, man.
Yeah. Well, and Seth Rollins, her fiance and the father, is Iowa white. So, but anyway, the man might be coming back tonight, so who knows?
We had a bunch of random shit on our list that we will probably.
And I actually did go through and get more while we were away. Got more of the actual "We Are Not Really Strangers" inner circle pack that I might bust out to have questions asked that we could both answer. So
yay!
We'll try to throw that on for Patreon We'll try to throw that on as like a free preview of Patreon content, just to make you guys remember that we're trying to do this. We'll try to get that scheduled in our off week, because we're still going to do every 2 weeks because one, COVID, and two, I have other responsibilities I need to go through and deal with on top of it because I'm doing an art course too. After this is done, I just spent $85 on art supplies that I'm probably not going to use after this course, and I have to go through and like look for local free cycles to say, hey, I'm leaving all this stuff on my porch. If you want it, come get it because I'm not going to use it. But we are going to try to be a little bit more organized with news, but we had other news that I did want to bring up. And this is important because it's a government news thing and it shows, oh my God, there's nothing that like, the only thing that's been so far embarrassing about the Biden term is the one he used the word Neanderthal so far. I don't go looking at my news wondering how I'm going to go, oh God, what is they going to do now? Where did my link go? There it was. All right. Can you hear me? Well, that's all we have today, folks, because during the broadcast, Noelle has issue with her mic and headset, and it's straight up busted. So they will be trying to go through and get that fixed for our next time that we get the show together. So for Noelle, my name is Bill, and we all have an X-Chromosome. Visit us on the web at www.xchromosomepodcast.com. If you want to give us an email, you could write us at xchromosomepodcast.com. Thank you, Patreon supporters that are still with us during this time, because you've actually kept the lights on for the podcast, even though no one seemed to be home, but it was more the fact that we had construction going on. So that being said, I'm signing off, and I already did that, but whatever. I'm now going to kick out the bots. So I'm going to try to do my best Noelle impression to say, Craig, get out. Craig, get out.
Left here to defend humanity's right to exist. No matter what the machines believe, we belong here, at this place, at this time. And with that, I present this revolutionary love letter to those who came before. Let's go. They call me Speed Rider, but never no heat hider. But I'm digital, fighting wars no one's hit to. Matrix division, network system point two. Called the one, the Neo, the novice, the noose. For Trinity will execute. Between the viral agents flagrant, engaged, most basic of state to undertake. Making model, which coddle the nature of humanity. Basic profanities into the insanity that's branded me. Give it up with the reloaded messaging. Move it down between the test and blasting. But before I get lost in this train of lyrics, let me reverse to raise the solemn spirits. Getting weary of the revelation theory. Fabrications constructed from peaceful memory. Comparisons between the old standby queries. Fragmented delusions made up like you don't hear me. We're Zion, we fight on. We're Zion, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. We're Zion, we fight on. We're Zion, Father, Son, Holy Ghost. I give you two hearts and two lives. Through the clouds, we'll see the skies. The sun shines down on our faces before descending into hell's traces. We can't replace this. EMP's ready to be unleashed. Nebuchadnezzar, slipstreaming like a beast. Oracles architecting a congregated feast. String them up like a martyr and will know peace. Blotto pointers don't see the message. Too busy, look at the cameras, judgmental dresses. The siblings gradual could only be an epic, but this won't be regarded cause their hands beckon. No matter your opinion, machines pouring in. Guns blazing, Zion needs saving. Humanity crazy. On worth it. For Zion, we fight on. For Zion,
Father, Son, Holy Ghost.
for Zion, we fight on. For Zion,
Father, Son, Holy
Yo,
Ghost.
now that you pass it, I think they getting bloated. They gassed and they show it. Well, time to get reloaded. More Sonic than Neo and me and Alpha come and take this and make this so colorful. You think this was Animatrix? When you hear this style, yeah, you best go ahead and take a whiff. Because once we're done, you feel more blending than Agent Smith. Business by day, hacker by night, party mullet time. Slow it down before you stop. Bullet rhyme. Tried to take it, the world was fake-ish. Back in time, the machines had made this. Even if the world could get no faker, we got a crew, Morpheus, Trinity, and the key maker. Never fail to neglect through all the fun. There will always be a chosen one. If you got a high rank diploma, I'll disable you even if I fall into a coma. Coma. Coma.
for Zion, we fight on. For Zion,
Father, Son,